I had a little bit of time this morning to do my course that I'm writing on hormones, and I was in the course talking about xenoestrogens and the effect they're having on estrogen dominance. So we have this problem now with estrogen dominance, and most people aren't aware of it, but it will crop up with symptoms in women such as the PMS, the PMDD, also endometriosis. And these symptoms of possible migraines, you have bloating, you are angry, you are irritable, you are moody, you're depressed, you have anxiety, you have the breast pain every month, or sometimes not every month, it could just be every alternating month. These symptoms are from estrogen dominance, and it's caused by various factors, and one of them is these xenoestrogens, and they absolutely everywhere. They are everywhere. Homes that we live in, we have things like VOCs, which are nasty chemicals in the environment, which are in our furniture, they're in our carpets, they're in our paints. We're just surrounded in our homes by all these toxins, and we breathe them in. So we're breathing them in our homes, and then when you use products on your skin, you have things like phthalates and parabens. We're applying these to our skin topically, so it's going into your bloodstream, creating more estrogen that way because of the products that you're putting onto your skin. These phthalates are known as the word fragrance, so fragrance is in so many products today. We also have things like parfum, which is also a xenoestrogen. So you're inhaling it, you're applying things to your skin. And then, of course, we have things like BPA, which is in canned goods and foods and sippy cups that you go for your coffee. It's in that, it's in those plastics. You may apply things to the microwave. You put things in the microwave. I use the microwave because microwaves are radiation. So anything that is radiation is going to destroy the endocrine system. So if you use plastic in the microwave, so you have food and you put it in the microwave and it's in that plastic container, that plastic leaks into your food that way. And then you're getting more estrogen from the food that you're eating. So we need to stay away from plastic. If you're going to buy any containers, you need to make sure you're buying glass. And when you're eating tin foods, look for BPA free, always. If you're buying any of the beans, anything that's in a canned food, look for BPA free. These xenoestrogens are everywhere, and they're wreaking havoc on the hormonal system. In young girls, some young girls are now developing puberty earlier. So we have young girls getting puberty at the age of 7 years old. Some of this is caused by the xenoestrogens. So we can help ourselves. It's not all doom and gloom, but it does require you changing a few things. And you do not need to be perfect, because I am not perfect, but it is just knowing about the best skincare products you can use that are not going to harm the endocrine system, and do your best to stick with that as natural as possible. Yeah, there's going to be a few things that you use that aren't natural. We all do it. I do it. But it's just trying to find that percentage that's healthy. So I use essential oils. I like to use Neal's Yard products because I want to bring the essential oils to my body, because the essential oils help to balance my endocrine system. So if I'm feeling low on energy, I know that I can have peppermint essential oil and it'll give me a little boost. If I also have cramps, not that I do very often because my diet is good with my monthly cycle. If you ever get that cramp, it's peppermint essential oil. And the products that you apply on your skin can help with menopause symptoms, which is what I'm going to be covering in my hormone course next year. There are so many women out there now struggling with these hormone symptoms, and they're not getting the answers that they need from a doctor. The doctor's simply going to give you some medication. In some cases, it's just an antidepressant because your mood is low, which could actually be a thyroid problem, and the thyroid tests are not accurate. So your thyroid's come back as normal when really it's not normal because you haven't had your T3 tested. And then other women are getting HRT, but it's making them feel worse because they just put more estrogen into their body, and they were already high on estrogen and not realizing that because they're low on progesterone. And then we have other women who've been prescribed the contraceptive pill, fueling your body with more synthetic estrogen and giving you more symptoms. And it's just a spiral out of control. And what we really need to be doing is addressing it via our diet, via healthy supplementation, and also thinking about stuff we're applying to our skin to limit the amount of the xenoestrogens we are being exposed to on a daily basis. And the next thing is with your diet as well. We're eating the wrong foods, which are also feeding the estrogen in our body. And this is where things like the dairy, I've done videos on this so many times with dairy, And then sugar also feeds hormonal imbalances. I did that video the other day on sugar and PMS symptoms and how it fuels them and makes them worse. And it's the same with premenopause as well. Premenopause usually can last around anywhere from 10 years upwards. And you don't want to be having these symptoms for that long till you get to menopause. So my mission for women, I'm in the premenopause years now, and I don't want to go through these symptoms, and I'm not going through these symptoms. But you have to be active and be consistent with new changes, and that does require things to, you need to stop eating the foods that are making your symptoms worse. You are fueling your body with the wrong foods and making those hormone symptoms worse, and it's just going to continue getting worse the older you get. So if you're young, if you're in your 20s and you have terrible PMS or PMDD, and you're not doing anything now to stop those symptoms, it's going to get worse when you hit premenopause years and menopause years. This is, what our hormones are there to make us feel sexy and fabulous and energized and have all this desire to want to do things and create purpose and passion and just live with enthusiasm and creativity. This is what our hormones are there for. But we're not feeling that way, are we? Because I have been there as well, guys. If you just go to my website, you'll read about my story. I have been there. And it is doom and gloom. And there have been months of my cycle where I'm like, oh my God, life is just hell on earth, depressed and angry. And it's our hormones. Our hormones make us this way. And someone can say something to us one day and we're all calm and mellow and it doesn't bother us. And then another day someone says something and it's a trigger, and you can either cry and be emotional about it, or you can go the opposite way and blow up and be really mega angry. And these are our hormones. And you just never know sometimes how you're going to react, because our hormones are all over the place. They are out of whack. But we can do things to help ourselves. We can do this with our food. So if you are interested in more of a plant-based approach, I do teach a plant-based approach. For some women, yes, you may thrive more on things like eggs and chicken. Some women are. Myself, I don't. I have more estrogen in my body, and that seems to trigger more estrogen. And so I had to learn that the hard way, because I did everything right, and my estrogen just was not disappearing. I couldn't lose weight, and then I gave up animal products. And that is my story. Doesn't mean it's your story, but that is me. My weight went from at the time I was a size 14, I'm now a size 6 to 8. And that was just all estrogen that I was hanging on to. And let me tell you, it is a work. I'm a yoga and Pilates instructor, and I am really strong, very fit and healthy. But I do still carry this estrogen because I now have low thyroid, because I've had radioactive iodine, which destroyed my thyroid. And because of that, I also struggle with low progesterone. So I have to eat foods to keep my progesterone levels higher so that estrogen doesn't take over. And I have to be really strict with my products that I use on the skin as well. So those are just some tips for you there today, guys. If you are interested, my website is in my bio, and you can click on there for all my details, and they're there for you if you're interested. And if not, anyways, hope you enjoyed the video, and take care, and all the best.